So this video could quite possibly be the cutest video, or one of the cutest videos I've ever had the chance to film. Now, just for a bit of backstory, I recently started a very new small-scale rescue, and I can't take in that many animals, but there was this group of mice drifting around in the rescue community, asking if anyone could take them. It was a result of multiple accidental litters and missexing of mice, and there was kind of talk that if no one could take them, that they would all be euthanized. So I was not gonna let that happen, and I teamed up with another rescue that's about 2.5 hours away, and that is Bacchus residents. And between us, we agreed to split the mice to kind of lessen the load of having like 30 plus, 40 plus mice between us. And I agreed to take 2 mums and their babies, and this is their story.
Whose goddamn white baby is that?
Okay, so this is our setup. It's very basic because when mums have babies or they're pregnant, you don't want to add in a bunch of like climbing toys and things. This I need to push back down because the babies can't get up onto that, but you can't have too many things going on. Some people would probably argue that this still is too much, but I want them to have still some enrichment and things to chew on, so you can't put too many things that are high up because if they carry the babies up and drop them, that can be dangerous to them. So we've got one hide over here, which is the one they have their nest in, and then I just had to have some sort of platform to put their water bowl. I'm waiting on industrial Velcro to attach a water bottle, that should be here very soon, hopefully. Then they have a few tunnels and things just to give them a bit more coverage going in between the 2 hides. This one they're not really using, but it does give them a bit more coverage because they are very nervous. And then we've got the food bowls. So as you know, I don't use food bowls with my mice or rats. I do scatter feed, but I wanted to make it as easy as possible for the mums and babies to access all the food they need. So this is their normal mix, and then this one has dog biscuits as extra protein. I have also, as you can see, added these grass mats around the side of where their nest will be, just to give them a bit more coverage because obviously it is a clear bin and I can see in, they can see out. So they have actually chewed a little hole and I can see the babies through the hole. which does kind of defeat the purpose, but I've put that there for them, and these were kindly donated by one of you guys off of our Amazon wishlist. So if you do want to buy anything for the mice or the guinea pigs or anything, I will leave that linked in the description because that is so helpful. So I do want to check on the babies, and it is really important to do that every day, but this can be very stressful on the mums, and especially these ones because they don't know me, they're not used to me, and also they're probably not the tamest because I don't think they were handled too much in the previous home, not sure, but they don't know me, so this can be a really stressful experience to them, watching a stranger lift the babies out the nest. So to prevent them seeing that and watching and getting stressed, I'm going to take the mums out, put them into a carrier, and then start to handle the babies. Also, if you're wondering why I've not split the two mums and their babies into separate bin cages, I did think about it. Some breeders and rescues prefer to just have one mum with their litters. Others will put two mums together to raise their litters together. And honestly, they've been through so much stress and changes in the past week or so that I didn't want to add any additional stress to that. So I've left them in a bin cage together. Also, there was about 5 female mice with babies and litters and pregnancies that were all together in the initial rescue, and they were all switching and swapping babies, so I don't want to assume that one mum is caring for all the babies that she should be and not someone else's and split them. So I'm just going to leave them as they are because they've had a lot of stress and I want to keep that as minimal as possible. So just to kind of explain who we've got, who belongs to who, because obviously I've not gone into this on day one. I've had to get my head around this and work out whose babies are whose and what we've got. So we have 2 mums. The first one is a standard coated smooth female, and she has only got 3 babies. 2 of those are hairless, fuzzy type, and one is just a standard coat. She's very cute. And then we also have another older baby who is just a white smooth coat that I will talk about in the rest of the video. And then we also have the second mum. She is a Texel. She is a lot younger, I think, and she has got a lot more babies. So she has got 8 babies, and these are a week younger than the other litter, and this is made up of 5 Texels and then 3 hairless or fuzzies. And then I'm just going to take some of the bedding that has their scent on and rub this on my hands before handling any of the babies, just to get that scent onto my hands and make it not smell so much like my scent. So the second litter, the one with the Texels, have just started to open their eyes in the past couple of days, and these ones are 2 weeks old, and the older litter that just has 3 babies are about 3 weeks old. So they're all about to be absolutely crazy because at this age they are incredibly jumpy. That's why people that use them for feeders call them hoppers, because they're absolutely nuts, and handling them is impossible because they will literally just jump to their death. So handling them is difficult, interesting, but it's still important because they have to get used to being handled, and especially this age when they can see you, they can sense you a lot better. It's really important to keep doing that. So this is going to be fun because they're all literally bouncing off the walls but you just have to be really careful with it. Okay, so here are the mums. This one is mum number 1, and she is the mum of the first litter that only has 3 babies in, and her name is Gaia. That was a name that I got suggested alongside a donation, and I think it'd be really cute to carry on with a Greek mythology theme. So she is Gaia, and then the other mum that is hiding, her name is Hera. So they do look slightly different. Gaia is just a smooth coat, and then Hera is a Texel. Now, Gaia we have to watch, one because she is trying to escape the carrier, but when she came into the rescue she was with a bunch of other mice, Hera included, and one of them the owner said was the mum mouse, turned out to be the dad. So, because she'd already given birth to her first litter, there is a chance that she could be pregnant. Luckily the dad was taken away from the other mice and from Hera before she could get pregnant again, so there is a chance we could have more baby mice on the way. And when it comes to rescues, oftentimes you want to prevent as many animals being in rescues as possible, so often an ethical choice in that situation is to either spay or prevent pregnancies, but because she already has babies and she's nursing them, that just isn't possible, so we could have more babies on the way. She doesn't look that large to me. I would actually say that Hera is a lot more round than her, but we are on baby watch. It could be any day now based on when the first litter were born, and then I think she was separated from the male when she came into the rescue on the 28th of December, so could still be a couple of weeks that we could have babies or could not have babies. But they want to go back to their current babies, so let's put them back. So this is the first of the babies to be separated, this little white baby, and his name is Hector. Now what I think happened with him is he snuck into the other mums and litters because he is about a week older than any of the other babies. He's 4 weeks old and he doesn't belong to either of these mums, so it has been very confusing because they've been swapping babies, looking after each other's babies, so I think he snuck into the carrier when they arrived, so he is going to have to be by himself. And obviously male mice, when they get older, they are aggressive, but they can stay with their male siblings for a couple of weeks. So I do feel a bit bad for him because he does have to be on his own, not for too long. The other mice are going to be 4 weeks old next week, so he only has another week to go before the other males can join him. So I do feel slightly bad for him, but he does have to be separated because he is at that age where he could possibly start to impregnate any of the other females in that enclosure, so he is now in this Exoterra. So I've just kept it very basic. He has got an 8-inch wheel, this adorable bed that is so cute, he's got a water bowl, a platform. They can now start to have things to climb on, so I've put in a branch, lots and lots of deep bedding. I am using shavings, obviously dust extracted and kiln dried, because he is a male and they're going to absolutely stink in the next couple of weeks. I can already smell him. And it's not good, so the most absorbent possible option, and then just a bunch of hides, chew toys, tunnels, plenty of things to hide in because he is quite shy. He's not been handled very much, obviously because he hasn't been in the rescue since a very, very young age. He is quite nervous, but he's so freaking cute. So that is Hector's house, and then in a week or so, probably less than a week to be fair, in a couple of days the other boys are going to join him, and this is going to be the boy enclosure. Before they get too old and need separating, and it's going to be absolute madness in here with a bunch of separate cages. Look how big they're getting. Every day I come in and they look so much bigger. You're growing so much. You were tiny like just a few days ago. So I'm kind of tempted to keep some. I wasn't going to because I'm happy with the mice I've got, but some of my older boys have started to pass away, so I am kind of tempted to keep some and adopt some myself. And I think if I was to keep any, I'd probably choose ones that maybe would have a harder time finding a home. So the males, for example, and maybe some of the hairless, because I'm not entirely sure how people feel about hairless mice. It's kind of like Marmite, you either like them or you don't like them. I'm not the biggest fan of hairless rats, ethics aside, but just look-wise, hairless in rats. But in mice, I do find it kind of cute, so maybe keep a hairless one or keep 2 boys, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments which boys or which mice you think I should keep. Probably by the time this video goes up, I will have already made my decision, but let me know regardless which ones you think I should keep in the comments. I think as well, if I decide to keep a boy or multiple boys, it would be really helpful because I would personally front the cost of their neuters rather than it going through the rescue and costing the rescue money, because that money can then go elsewhere to help other animals, even though at this point I just buy things with my own money anyway, which I probably shouldn't do. But if I was to front the cost of whatever mice I keep and getting them neutered, that's one less mouse for the rescue to have to neuter, if that makes sense. So I think that would be helpful. I am leaning more towards boys, but let me know what you think in the comments. Which boy or boys should I keep? Which ones are calling to you? I've kind of got an idea myself, but let me know what you think. So I've put all of the babies in here so it's easier to handle them and socialise them, because in their proper cage they've got lots and lots of bedding, which is great, but they just disappear and bury themselves under there, so it is quite hard to actually get them out and socialise them and get them used to people. So I've managed to get them all, and I just want them to get used to hands and people. Now we have got all of them in here, obviously, besides little man who is in there, and then so this one is from the first litter, and then this one is from the first litter, and then actually this tiny hairless, you'd think he was from one of the later litters because he's so small, but he is actually from the first litter, so he is very, very tiny. He also has a really kinked tail, but he is full of energy, full of beans. He's very, very difficult to handle because he is bouncing everywhere. Then we have the other hairless. We've got 3 more hairless babies that are, please don't jump out. Let's not do that. And then we have Texels. They're looking a bit funky at the moment. Rex, rats, mice and Texels. You have a poop on your back. Rexes and Texels in rats and mice go through like an ugly phase where they kind of look bold. That should come back. So they're looking a bit sparse in some places. As you can see, they're all different, very slightly different colours. And we have 5 of them, don't we? You're all very cute. Hi. Hello. What you thinking? You thinking, please let me escape? Please let me escape. They're gonna try. One of them is gonna attempt it, I can see. I should have got a taller bin. Because you're all gonna because you're all, oh, here we go. No, let's not jump, thank you. No, no. So they now all have names, and one of the best ways I found as a rescue to get donations is to ask for name suggestions alongside a small donation. And we have gone for a Greek mythology theme, so they've all got related names, and that is based off of the first mouse. The first mum, her name is Gaia. So Gaia's litter is the first litter, and there's only 3 babies in that litter, all females, thank God, and that is made up of Phoebe. Phoebe is a smooth-coated female, and then we also have Pandora. She is a hairless or fuzzy mouse, and she's very, very small compared to all of the other babies, and she also has a crooked tail in places. Not really sure what's going on, but she is very interesting looking. And then we also have Thea, and again she is a hairless or fuzzy female. We then also have Hector, who is the rogue baby, and he is a smooth-coated male. Then we have the second mum, her name is Hera, and she has had 8 babies, and that is made up of Perseus, who is a male Texel, Medusa, who is a female Texel, Griffin, who is another male Texel, and then Athena, who is a female Texel, and then lastly of the Texels is Cleo, who is a female. Then we have her hairless or fuzzy children. We've got Sphinx, who is a hairless male, Pontus, who is a hairless male, and then also Hestia, who is a hairless female. But that is all of their names. I think they're great, and I think doing a theme, especially one like Greek mythology, there are so many options. Should I need to name another litter, I can also use that for them too. So great names, thank you so much if you sent in any suggestions. And Gaia, the first mum, who we suspect might be pregnant again just because their previous owner did leave in the male dad mouse that they thought was the mum. She might be pregnant again, and she is looking big, so I definitely think she is, and I'm going to need so many more names for any more baby mice that come. So thank you for all of the suggestions. If you sent any in, we're going to have to name more mice in the future, I'm sure. But all of the mice have now been reserved, and they all have homes lined up. All of the girls, besides Gaia obviously, because she is on pregnancy watch, all are going in pairs or trios, and then obviously the boys have to stay back a bit longer because they need to be neutered, but they've all got homes lined up ready to go when they're ready. So as soon as the girls are about 8 weeks old, they're going to go to their new homes. The boys have to stay until about 3 months old and then get neutered and then go, but the response has been amazing. I've had a lot of interest, and they've all got homes lined up, which I could not ask for anything better. So it is now time for the other baby boys to join Hector. They are developing some very big balls, and it's time for them to leave their mum and their sisters. So we have got Griffin, Sphinx, Perseus and Pontus joining Hector in here, but first I'm just going to stick them all in a carrier together because I don't expect there to be any issues. They are still all very young, under like 5 weeks old, so I'm not expecting to see them fight or anything, but I just want to keep an eye on them just for half an hour or so, and then they can go into this together and have big boy toys. You get to have a wheel. Oh my gosh. Careful. And if you're wondering how it's so obvious these 5 are boys, they have pretty obvious balls. You can't miss them. And they're only a couple of days off of 4 weeks old, so their balls appeared around 3 weeks old, and you can't miss them. So that does make sexing them a lot easier because they are just right there. So especially when you hold them kind of dangling, that definitely helps. Gravity does its job, so if you ever have to sex baby mice, hold them in this position and all will become clear. Come on, Fluffy Bum, you have some friends for a bit. Be nice, they're smaller than you. They're like, what the heck? I don't remember you. This is your cousin Hector. Do you remember? It's like, you smell familiar to me. You've got friends, you're not going to be scared anymore. Hopefully. Because you're a big scaredy cat. So I think we're all good. Now let's put them into their enclosure and see what they think. I'm going to put the other babies in first. There you go, Perseus. Then we have Pontus, Griffin, Sphinxy, and Grumpy Hector. Be good. Be nice to each other. Just for a bit, and then you have to be separated again. end this video here. It is not the end of the mouse saga. We still have more mice on the way, and also we have to say goodbye to the girls as they get adopted, and then also new to the boys. That's going to be a whole process, so there is going to be more videos on these mice, but I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this one. And just a big thank you if you've shown any interest in adopting them, or you've donated items or money towards their care and neuters, because although I've got many mouse supplies, having this many mice in the house is definitely stretching that. So thank you so much to anyone that's donated items in person, or you've bought things from the Amazon wish list. I will link that in the description, by the way. That has been so helpful, so thank you so much for that. And of course, if you donated to naming them or towards them getting neutered, that has been really helpful. If you are in the position to donate anything at all to help these mice live socially as they're meant to, I think it's going to cost about £400 to £500 just to neuter any boys. And of course there's probably going to be more boys in the next litter besides the ones that I'm personally paying for. It's going to be a lot, but it's going to be worth it, because that means they get to live socially as they're meant to, which is all I want for them. So thank you so much to anyone that's donated, and of course thank you for watching. But I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this. It has been incredibly cute to just watch them grow up, and time has flown by. I've kind of been in a baby mouse bubble the past couple of weeks just watching them grow up, and now they're fully functioning tiny adults, which has just gone so quick. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I have just walked in here and I can hear the tiny cries of new life. I think we have babies. So you can see their eyes and their milk bands on their stomach, and I'm not going to touch them, but just for size comparison, look at the size difference compared to my finger. They are so tiny.